Hi, everybody. My name's Alane Friend, and I'm in California, and I'm here with my friend.
Hi, I'm Sage Lewis, and I'm in Prescott, Arizona. And I'm here with my friend.
And when I was in eighth grade, I was on debate, and we always my partner always introduced us as Mosier and Friend, and the judges had a real issue with it. Yeah, we know she's your friend, but what's her name? So
I think the
perfect.
friend part is important.
It is important. We've been talking for years about our marriages, and we're both highly sensitive women. And so we've been talking lately about highly sensitive marriage and thinking, we've done so much work on this. We have so many great ideas. Maybe we should share them.
And great experiences.
Yeah.
We've been in the trenches and out of the trenches, and we've got experiences after being in highly sensitive marriages for me 14 years.
And me 13 plus, the ones before. So I kind of like to say I've been in highly sensitive in relationships as a highly sensitive person for 57 years. And because, you learn your relationship skills really young, right? And we repeat those patterns or we learn and change them. And I think that's part of what our conversations and our work as therapist and coach is about as well.
Absolutely. And for me, I noticed when I was little, I was told I was overly sensitive. And it wasn't until I was 40 years old that I finally realized, guess what? That's my greatest gift.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just let's take a moment and say, if you're watching this and you've been told you're too sensitive your whole life, like we were, um, maybe you haven't yet discovered that it's a personality trait. That was the term was coined by Elaine Aron, who's a research psychologist and wrote several books on it. And it just means that you probably are a deep processor. You think a lot. Now, you might be able to imagine how being a deep processor could be both a gift and a liability in marriage. Does it get you, Sage?
Yeah, absolutely. And I process deeply in my heart. I know my mind is somewhat active, but I have to say, that after working to move from here down to here for the last 54 years, I really process in my heart. And so just even navigating all of these feelings that are moving through, that's a feat in and of itself.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's another characteristic of being highly sensitive is the strong emotional reactions and deep empathy. So I don't know about you, but every path, every step on this journey of being in partnership with someone is something that I feel so deeply. And sometimes that means that I feel great joy and such connection and such compassion that it's just massive for me. And sometimes it means that my feelings are so hurt by the most minute thing, like they didn't remember to put the toilet paper on the way I like it, and so the whole gamut, the whole range of
We have
emotions.
that problem too.
The way I knew that my partner was the right person is I have misophonia, and so if you don't know that, some I can have a complete anxiety attack related to people making mouth sounds, and gum chewing is it's one of my kryptonites. And on our first date, where we actually were in the car driving somewhere, my date was chewing gum loudly, and I was sweating, and just I felt it coming on, and I'm ashamed that I can't just be around people chewing gum. And so one part of me is, but I really like her. I really want to. This isn't going to work if I'm going to sit here and have an anxiety attack on the Richmond Bridge in the Bay Area. And so I said something, and what happened? She rolled down the window and tossed the gum out. And then I thought, oh, she littered.
Then you had feelings about that, but
It's exhausting. And and also noticing every little thing. That's part of misophonia too, noticing the subtle stimuli and being sensitive to them, and all of that can result in a lot of overwhelm or over arousal. So that's sort of.
absolutely. I know I remember early on in my relationship with my husband James, he said to me, "I want to know everything you're feeling," and I said, "No, you don't." It's all day long. It's like a roulette wheel. Happy, scared, mad, sad, happy, scared, repeat. And then
Yeah.
you add a partner into that, and they're having their feelings while you're having yours. So then it's like whose is whose, and if we're both sensitive, which we are, somebody's always having something. And then
Yeah.
how do we navigate that?
Seriously. Well, there's a ton of tools. I mean, we both use so many tools in our work. And I think this morning we were chatting and I said, let's turn on record because we were just talking about our relationships and the challenges and what works and what doesn't work. And I think it's so important to be out about the challenges, because marriage is hard anyway, no matter what. Marriage has been made harder by all this pandemic stuff and being more insular in our families and maybe less connected to the outside world. And so then you take all of that and you need to work at it. And I think for me, I need to know I'm not alone. I'm not the only one.
Absolutely. You're
I can
not.
start to feel like I must just be crazy, right?
Yeah, you're not. You're not alone and you're not crazy.
Or incapable of being married.
Hmm.
And that's not true either, but it is hard when you're highly sensitive. Stress makes things harder.
Right. Right. And then, living in a home where you've got two people that are highly sensitive and maybe an animal that's highly sensitive. And then, like you said, you add the pandemic and you add maybe
It,
health issues or job issues or financial issues. Then you add things, deaths in the family, and
right.
it can really stockpile.
And parenting is another huge stressor that affects highly sensitive marriages. So, well, I think it's so important we have tools. Should we throw a tool out there before we close this little video?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, you were just telling me about this quote about welcoming everything, which kind of makes my skin crawl. But can you tell us a little bit about where that comes from?
Yeah, I was listening to Frank Ostaseski, and he was the founder of the Zen Hospice in San Francisco, and I'm taking a course that he's leading. And last night he was sharing this phrase, welcome everything, push away nothing. And what I've been playing with, and this is very fresh for me, I've heard the phrase before, but as I play with it, what I notice is this sense of groundedness, relaxing, and non-attachment that feels amazing. In other words, whatever's showing up, that's what's showing up. I can't really do much about what's showing up other than how I respond to what's showing up. So, although I may not like that this happened, or this was said this way, or this wasn't said this way, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
So that's been a great tool, and it's a new tool for me. So I'm excited to share it and to keep working with it.
Giving us reports on it.
Right.
I think for me, if I want to welcome everything and push away nothing, I need to be doing my personal work. I need to be clean and, you know, I'm in therapy, for example, and having a place to process my stuff that comes up and to continually work on my self-care and to be in a more optimal level of arousal. Because I'll tell you, when I'm in my best self, I can totally welcome everything and push away nothing. But when I'm stressed and overwhelmed and exhausted and hurt, all those things that I can easily get to, then all of a sudden that feels impossible.
Yeah, it flips
So
around. Push away everything and welcome nothing.
totally. Okay, so here's the question for folks. If you see this video somewhere on social media or wherever, can you please tell us what you think about welcome everything, push away nothing, and when do you welcome nothing and push away everything? What gets you to that point? And we'll try to respond and let us know what your questions are about that. So thanks so much, Sage. I'm really happy that we're able to have this conversation.
Yeah, thank you. Me too.
More to come.